long shot. Jackpot, 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 jackpot. Riding round the block, shooting those shots.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here back with another UFC 4 tier list video, man. Back by popular demand, might I add. You know, those videos have done great. Very grateful for everyone coming out watching them. And you know, what else can I do than supply the fans with what they want? And that's another tier list video, man. So let's go ahead and get right into it. You know, we'll be looking down. We got a lot of fighters on this list. Featherweight is one of the most competitive weight classes there is. There are, you know, just so many options. If you're looking for lower tier fighters, there's so many guys you can use and be competitive with. You know, it's really fun. So let's just go ahead and go into it, man. Of course, you guys by now already know how it goes. We got S to F tier, goes in that order. Let's get it started. Chan Sung Jung, the Korean zombie, starting it off strong, man. I'll list him at D tier. You know, if you're looking for a 4-star fighter, Chan Sung Jung can be your guy. You know, he's very versatile. You know, on the feet, he's got a 94 punch power, 91 kick power. And then, you know, the speed, I think, is around, he's got 90 punch speed, 90 accuracy. Submissions, obviously, are there. That's his specialty. 95 subs. The health stats are there. 93 cardio, 94 chin. He is the Korean zombie, after all. And he does have turning takedowns, so that's really good to mention. You know, not forced to stand and bang if you don't want to. You can get the fight to the ground. Now, the only issues I will say you're going to have with him are the 89 footwork is kind of slow, so you're going to have a hard time getting in and out of the pocket. And overall, you know, his striking is just mediocre. Featherweight is a weight class filled with electric strikers, and he is just not that. He can hold his own, but, you know, expect if you're going to use Chan Sung Jung, you got to take the fight to the ground at some point and, you know, do some damage there. Moving on the list, we have SoCal Cub Swanson. Now, SoCal is one of those guys that is one of those electric boxers like I was talking about. 93 punch speed, 93 punch power, and 94 accuracy are very solid, along with the 93 cardio and the 94 chin. So if you use Cub Swanson, you should be standing and banging in the pocket. Now, with that, the 88 body health, if you go against some guy who's targeting the body, you're going to have to protect it early and often because, you know, a few too many shots and it'll be crippling and your night will be over. Also with him, you have to worry about the 83 sub defense. That's just horrendous. There's no other way to put it. If you get caught in a submission with low stamina, 90% of the time you're going to have to tap. And that's just not something you really want. And also, the kicks aren't really there. So, like I said, he's like kind of a one-trick pony. And that's what you're going to see a lot of the time with these featherweights. One-trick pony, get in the pocket, start swinging and banging. He does have the fast hands perk, which is very good. It'll give him +5 punch speed and accuracy on any hooks, uppercuts, and I believe overhands. So that is something to look out for. And we're just going to go ahead and move on down the list. Anthony Pettis. Anthony Pettis is a guy, you know, some people are going to hate me, but how the hell do you even at D tier? I use this guy all the time. I win so many fights. Yeah, okay, we get it. You can win fights with Anthony Pettis, but he is not a preferred pick. Yeah, he has great kicks, don't get me wrong. And, you know, the footwork is there so you can get in and out of the pocket. But 91 cardio along, you know, if you're going to be using these wild kicks over and over again, that 91 cardio is not going to cut it. When I use Anthony Pettis, you know, I'm going for flashy KO. Because that's what you do when you have a guy like this. It just gets in your head, man. Even if you want to fight straight, you're going to do stuff like that. And the 91 cardio just doesn't cut it. You know, the other health stats aren't really there either. His boxing is just okay. You know, like he's got another one-trick pony at the weight class, man. You got to, you know, land a lot of kicks early and often. And that's not really a winning strategy, I don't think. You know, just hoping to land these Taekwondo kicks and all that. I will say the subs, very good if you can land them. He's got great ground game. Everyone knows that. But other than that, you know, I think there's a very good reason for him to be sitting here at D tier. Now, moving on, Josh Emmett. Josh Emmett is a guy, you know, he got upgraded recently, and my friends love to use him. They think he's the best guy in the world. 94 punch speed, 97 power is very deadly, but, you know, what holds him back is the accuracy. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, why does accuracy matter? You know, just punch him in the face. Yeah, okay, but if your opponent slips, you know, a guy like Conor McGregor who has 100 punch accuracy, he's going to land it, you know, half the time when he shouldn't. Josh Emmett's never going to give you that. So if you go against a talented striker and, you know, let's just say you throw a straight and he slips and hooks, there's almost a 0% chance that it landing and you're going to get countered every time. So just something to look out for there. It's kind of like a safe mechanism. You know, you're not going to have that with Josh Emmett. However, he does have a great wrestling and his health stats are very solid across the board, all around 92 area. With the wrestling, his submission game isn't really there. So if you're looking to take someone down, you're looking to ground and pound and not really looking for the submission. And once again, he's a fighter who doesn't have great kicks, so everything's, ones and twos, punches and hooks. You're not going to be looking for, I mean, maybe a leg kick here and there is fine. Not going to be looking for the roundhouse kick and all that stuff. Now, the only notable perk here I have is Bulldog. That Bulldog, I think it gives you about +5 blocking if you're standing still. So, that's really good for a guy who wants to stand and bang. So that does help him out a little bit. And moving right along, Arnold Allen. And I have never seen anyone in the history of the world use Arnold Allen in this game, but he is in the game, and he's very, very highly. If you look at the top fighters list, he's the third guy that shows up. Now, I'm sure that's just because his last name is Arnold Allen, it's AA. But regardless, he's a 4.5-star fighter. He's got the solid boxing stats, 94, 93, 94. The 94 blocking, very good. And surprisingly, his kicks are good. So he's one of the guys that can do it all in the stand-up. However, the grappling isn't really there. The 89, 90, 91 bottom control with 87 sub offense, 89 sub defense. And the switch stance stat isn't high at all. It's an 80, so it's as low as it gets. And that means you're going to be forced to fight in whatever his preferred stance is. I can get you that information right now. He's a southpaw. So if you don't like southpaws, Arnold Allen's not going to be your guy because you're going to be forced to fight a southpaw. So other than that, the reason I have him at C tier and not higher, despite his stats being good, like I said, I've never seen anyone use him. I've only used him very little. I'd used him a little bit before this video. And he's just another fighter in my opinion. Not really electric. He doesn't do anything crazy. He's just solid all around. So that's why I find himself at C tier. And now next, don't kill me, man. Brian Ortega. I love Brian Ortega to death. One of my favorite fighters, but they just can't. They don't do him right in this game, man. The submissions are fantastic. 97 submission offense, 96 sub D. He's got the 91 top control, 95 bottom control, and all that's great. But how are you going to take the fight to the ground? His 88 takedown isn't going to get it there. The 89 clinch control isn't going to get it there. It's a hard time taking the fight to the ground. And if you're standing up with Max Holloway, Conor McGregor, you have to get the fight to the ground. And Brian Ortega, like I said, his striking just is not on the level of those guys. So if you use Brian Ortega against Conor thinking, I'm going to take him down, it's very hard unless you go against someone who doesn't know what they're doing. He doesn't have turning takedowns except for the basic one out of a single leg. So that's a weakness there. And the striking stats just aren't that good. So I cannot recommend Brian Ortega against top fighters. Now, if you're fighting, one of these other guys on the list like Chan Sung Jung, then sure, he's a great pick. But like I said, I probably wouldn't recommend Brian Ortega in ranked play against other top tier fighters. Now moving on is Dustin Poirier, and I actually would recommend this Dustin Poirier. If you like Dustin Poirier at lightweight, use him at featherweight. Try him out. His stats are a little lower. Now 95 punch speed, 93 punch power, 95 accuracy. Now that is lower than his lightweight stats, but I mean those are very good. He's probably one of the best 4-star fighters in the game. You see, I said right now he's definitely the best 4-star boxer at featherweight. So that's very nice. His health stats are great. And they're all around. I think they're all at 92, and he has decent subs, so the submissions are there. There's nothing really negative about Dustin Poirier except that chin rating. 90 is not great, but it's not terrible neither. You can get away with 90, and then the kicks are not there for Dustin. I will say that. Obviously at lightweight he's got the calf kick. It's a 4-star, and the kick rating is a little bit higher, but 88 kick speed, 87 kick power is not great. And the ground game is not fantastic with Dustin. So, other than the submissions, I can't really recommend trying to take the fight to the ground. But if it goes there, you'll be all right. Like I said, featherweight is not a grappling heavy weight class, but overall, his Dustin Poirier's stats still are not very good at on the ground. Now moving on, Michael Johnson. And you're gonna say, what the hell are you talking about? Why is Michael Johnson here? And that's why I'm gonna tell you, man. That's why I make the videos and you watch. Listen, Michael Johnson, 94 punch speed, 93 punch power, 92 accuracy. And that's the best thing about him. And you're gonna sit here and be like, well, what the hell? I just saw that Dustin Poirier is higher. He has fast hooks and laser focus, which means essentially all of your punches are +5 speed, +5 accuracy. And I'm telling you, if you use this guy, he's basically Conor McGregor. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference if they had the same skin. But I mean, Michael Johnson is just an absolute killer, the menace in this game for a reason. The 92 blocking is good, 93 footwork is great. You cut your opponents off, and he has all the same weaknesses that almost everyone else I've mentioned to this point has. His kicks aren't great. His grappling's pretty poor. Now, the 87 chin is an issue, but like I said, he literally fights like Conor McGregor. I'm telling you, this stand-up, I mean, his punches come out so fast. I mean, you thought you were fighting Max Holloway, and I mean, he's a great fighter to use if you're trying to have fun. Now, is he technically competitively viable? I don't know. I probably wouldn't use him versus Conor, but if someone brings out, I don't know, let's just say, Dustin Poirier, I might bring out Michael Johnson just because he has a stand-up ability, and that's all that really matters in this game. He's got the great stats, and he can get the job done. So that's why I put Michael Johnson here at B tier. Moving on down the list, Giga Chikadze. He's a newer entry into the game, and he's very solid. The boxing, 94 speed, 91 power, 93 accuracy. That's pretty solid. Kicks are fantastic, second only to Edson Barbosa, with 97 kick power, or 97 kick speed, 96 kick power. The movement, great for him. 96 footwork, 94 head movement, and a 94 chin. All very good stats. And obviously, another issue, the ground game, as it's been going on. So if you run up against someone who can take you down and hold you there, like a Josh Emmett, you might run into some matchup issues. But other than that, most of these guys are stand-up guys, so it's not the biggest issue in the world. 89 cardio does suck, but he has out the gates, which is just the ultimate neutralizing perk in this game. Essentially what it does is it lowers your stamina consumptions in round 1 and 2, which if you play UFC 4, 90% of fights ends in round 1 or 2. So very OP perk, and he has it, so good for him there. The 89 blocking, whatever. So like I've already mentioned, out the gates, great perk. He has fast hands, which we've already talked about. Great perk with the hooks and uppercuts. And crazy legs is +5 speed and accuracy on roundhouse kicks. And, that's Giga's bread and butter there. So good for him to have that perk. Other than that, like I said, Giga is a fun fighter. I've used him before. I wouldn't 100% recommend him, but he is very solid. I'd recommend using him, and once again, in these like lower tier fights when you're not all using 5-star fighters, you're trying to have some fun. Go have fun with Giga. But competitively against, Conor McGregor, I don't know. It'll be tough. But moving on down the list, Calvin Kattar, a very solid boxer. He's just big and strong. You just look at him. He looks huge for 145. And he's got that 94 speed, 94 punch power, and 93 accuracy with great health stats to boot. 96 cardio is fantastic. 93 chin, 93 body, 91 legs, all very good. And once again, the ground game, 90, 89, that's not great, but it's not going to get you killed in this weight class, especially. The kicks are an issue, so this is a boxing guy. You're going to want to, just keep firing those hands in the pocket. You're not really going to want to kickbox with people, but, that's the name of the game at featherweight. So just another fighter. He's got laser focus, which is improved speed and accuracy on the straights this time, and carved to wood. And if you don't know what carved to wood is, it's essentially if you have taken more chin health, more chin damage than your opponent, you will absorb less damage. So it's kind of like, the saying, when you're rolling a ball down a hill, keeps picking up snow and all that. It's like the opposite. He stops in the tracks. So carved to wood, very good stat. Good to have. If you get hurt early, you can kind of overcome and rebound. So good there. Moving on, Yair Rodriguez, and he's coming off his TKO win last week to Brian Ortega, and so I'm sure he might get buffed. I don't know, with those fluke wins, most of the time, UFC will still throw some stats their way just based on how he looked, and he did look very good. So he might be a 4.5 star, by the time even this video comes out. But at this very moment, he's rated at 4 star, and his stand-up game is still great. 95 punch speed, 90 punch power, 90 accuracy, and then the kicks, 97 kick speed, 94 kick power, very good there. And then the 96 cardio, 94 chin. This guy might as well be a 4.5 star already. He's very good. The ground game, 87, 86 is, notably worse than most of these guys. Most of them stay around 90. So, the ground game is an issue if you go against essentially anybody. But, if you keep the fight standing, you will be all right. 88 blocking sucks, but it's not terrible. I use Yair Rodriguez a lot online. I think he's very fun to use. And, you can even hang in there with a Max Holloway or someone like that. So, fun guy. Put him in your repertoire. His perks, Taekwondo, crazy legs, frontal assault. Essentially, all of those, that covers every kick in the game. So, all of your kicks are going to have +5 kick speed and +5 accuracy. So, it's pretty nice to have there. And moving on, we're finally going to hit the A-tier list of fighters. Now, these are the guys that I all would recommend saying, you know, you can go up against anyone with these guys. They're going to be able to hold their own. Starting off, Jose Aldo, and especially at featherweight. Let me just mention this too. All of these featherweight guys have ridiculous stats. You would not believe it if you just looked at it. Compared to any other weight class, it's like they're untouchable. You know, if Jose Aldo had these stats at lightweight, he'd be an S tier. I mean, it's things like that, you know. The stand-up, 96 punch speed, 95 punch power, and 91 punch accuracy. 96 kick speed and power. I mean, fantastic already. That's if he didn't already have 96 head movement, 93 blocking. I mean, great. And like I said, the worst thing I can say about this guy is his cardio is 91, and that's not bad. You know, 91 cardio is more than good. 92 chin is very good. His biggest issue, he can't switch stance, so, you know, if you get your legs hurt early, which if you get your legs hurt with Jose Aldo, I don't know what to tell you. That's, you probably just need to go ahead and delete the game. But even then, and even his ground game, you know, 90 top control, 93 bottom control, that's very solid, especially at featherweight. You know, he can hold his own against almost anyone here, so that's very good. And the perks, man, he has the steel checks, so that means if you check a leg kick, it does, like, you know, more damage. Out the gates, we already talked about that, very good perk to have. And fast hands, another great perk. So Jose Aldo, he's loaded up, great fighter, and he's got the 5-star Muay Thai combos. Almost forgot to mention that. And so, you know, a lot of the guys, if you know how to use them, he can be very deadly with those leg kicks, just mixing them in there. He's got great combos. So moving on, and next at A tier is Max Blessed Holloway. And now, for the longest time, I always said, you know, Max, he's not really competitive, man, and the biggest issue with him is that 85 punch power. I always said, man, that's just not enough power to get the job done, and, you know, he's always going to fault to these guys who can just hit harder. But I've used him a lot recently, and I'm starting to find the appeal of Max Holloway. The volume will really get to people. Like I said, 95 speed, 95 accuracy, and he has laser focus and fast hands, which essentially means, you know, 100 speed, 100 accuracy there for all of his punches. 94 blocking, 95 footwork, already fantastic. And then the 97 cardio, 98 chin makes him, you know, very hard to hurt. So, like, you know, the ground game, or 90, 89, not terrible. Now his kicks are mediocre, 91 kick speed, 87 kick power. And his biggest issue is going to be the 87 leg health. If you go up against a guy like Jose Aldo or Alexander Volkanovski who have good leg kicks, you have to be very careful and cognizant. Make sure you're checking a few of them, because even though you have the great switch stance, if a fight goes 3 rounds and you're just getting your legs chopped off the whole time, the judge is going to look at that and, you know, probably won't hand you the decision. So make sure, you know, you don't get your legs in trouble. That's the only thing I would really recommend with Max. And just volume all day. If you're going to use Max, you got to just keep throwing punches, because that, you know, 85 punch power is not a one-shot killer. You just got to keep landing, and eventually it'll break through. So, you know, most of you Max Holloway guys I go up against online already know that pretty well. So we're just going to go ahead and get on to the next fighter, and that's Alexander Volkanovski. And if Volkanovski was at any other weight class, he'd be the best fighter. Any other weight class. I mean, simply amazing stats. And he plays like it too. He's not one of those guys that has these great stats and you get in the game and he plays terrible. Volkanovski plays fantastic in the game. 97 punch speed, 94 punch power, 96 accuracy, 99 footwork, kicks, 94 kick speed, 93 kick power, 92 takedown. Like, it's not like he has a weakness. And even his health stats, 97 cardio, 94 chin. He has no weakness. You know, I put that on the board to be a meme, but seriously, tell me one issue with Alexander Volkanovski. And he's not an S tier. Because there is one issue with Alexander Volkanovski, and that is his name is not
the reigning, defending, 155-pound champion of the UFC, the notorious
Conor McGregor. And I cannot sit here and empirically point to a thing that says this is why Conor is better than Volk. I can't do it, because even the boxing stats, I mean, Conor has an edge there, but it looks similar. If you have been in a game with Conor and you have been in a game with Volk, then you'll know. Conor McGregor's stand-up just washes Volk out the water. If you have a fantastic if you watch any of the ESFL, or you watch any of the top competitors play this game, all of them use Conor McGregor at featherweight. You'll see Conor versus Conor till the game ends. You know, they can try and nerf him, whatever they do. This Conor McGregor is a problem. 100 accuracy. So as we were talking about earlier, the accuracy is a crutch, where if, you know, someone slips a strike, it'll still land. He has that crutch and also has 97 punch power. So that punch that shouldn't have landed also can knock you out. So and then we go on. The kicks are not bad. The health stats are fantastic. 96 chin, 94 body health, 94 leg health. So you can't even really hurt this guy back. Now you're gonna say, oh, well, he's got bad cardio. Yeah, but he has the out the gates like we talked about, which completely negates the bad cardio. He gets off to a quick start, and he rocks you 3 times. Who cares if you have a little cardio advantage? You're not going to, because you've been hit in the head 3 times and been stunned and fallen to the ground and all these other things. So Conor McGregor, it's just he's a problem. The entire division is built around how well you can handle fighting Conor McGregor, and that is why Conor is the S tier, and he is just the best fighter in UFC 4. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you today. If you guys agree or disagree, let me know in the comments below. Who do you want to know? I might have missed some fighters here and there. So if you have a question about a certain fighter, ask me in the comments below. If you like this video, I have a few more like this on my channel. There will be, popping up on your screen right about now. Other than that, like the video, drop a subscription. I will be dropping more videos like this in the future.
I be selling
Go ahead
that
and
heat.
subscribe, man.
What you got
That's all I
on your
got
feet?
for you. Satchel
Air Force
is out
One,
here.
that's some old heat. 2-3 Jordan, that's a new feet.